Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session where we were learning the most interesting Jammu and Kashmir issue, which occupies one of the most important event in the first 30 years after the independence. So, the national conference, we have discussed about all Jammu and Kashmir Muslim conference, which has taken the turn of national conference led by Sheikh Abdullah, and they have demanded for greater representation of Muslims in the posts of Hari Singh government. That means Hari Singh cabinet should consist of many Muslims was their demand. Towards the end of 1947, what happened? They began to face an external invasion on its western borders by Razakars supported by Pakistan. Pakistan ke Razakars, what they have done is they started attacking the western boundary of the Jammu and Kashmir, where they wanted to remain as an independent country. With the attackers nearing Srinagar, the Maharaja requested the Indian forces for their defense. Hari Singh क्या करा? Indian help के लिए मांगा था. क्या बोल के? Please help me from the Razakars. The Governor General of India, however, held that Indian forces would be available only after the accession of Jammu and Kashmir to India. At the same time, various options available regarding the future of the state, including being autonomous, were being widely discussed. So, after discussing these various options, it was decided to merge Jammu and Kashmir into India, and on that condition only, Indian forces will be available to face the Razakars, was what Governor General of India made it very clearly to the Hari Singh. In January 1948, India took this case to the United Nations. However, the case was not presented properly by the government of India, and the issue got transformed into a India-Pakistan question. Meanwhile, Sheikh Abdullah had reached what is called as the Delhi Agreement. ये Delhi Agreement क्या है बोलता हूँ मैं आपको. He made an agreement with the government of India on the issue of Jammu and Kashmir called as the Delhi Agreement. Who made it? Sheikh Abdullah has made this agreement, whereby according to this Delhi Agreement, Kashmiris would become full citizens of India. They would become the full citizens of India, and they have greater autonomy as well as powers compared to the other states of India. How? Through the Article 370. They have more powers in their state. Most of the clauses of this agreement were intended to protect the internal characteristics or essential characteristics of the state, found a place in the constitution in the form of Article 370. What does the Article 370 says? That other people cannot purchase a land in Jammu and Kashmir, and Jammu and Kashmir women, if you married, you cannot become the citizen of the Jammu and Kashmir. So there are many such things which were essential to protect the autonomy of the Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370, which was found in the constitution through the Delhi Agreement. दिल्ही एग्रीमेंट के वजह से आर्टिकल 370 को बनाए गए थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, पहले नहीं था वो. सो एट द सेम टाइम there was also an economic divide in the state which acquired a religious tone. That means the land reforms in the state disposed many of the landlords who happened to be Hindus there. So that also has taken a religious turn because most of the landlords were Hindus, and of land beyond the ceiling limits were possessed by them, while the major beneficiaries of this economic program happened to be Muslims. During the period of 1950 to 1990, many attempts were made by the central government to reduce the autonomy of the state and bring it in line with the other states of the country. But never the Congress government has done that, and this has happened only because of the Narendra Modi government, who has aborted this Article 370 and brought it on par with the other states in the country. So this was used to ferment a movement of independence in Kashmir also in 1990. That is Azad Kashmir का movement चला था because of Article 370 को निकाल देने का plan कर रहे बोल के. And during this period, a large number of Hindu families and in the Kashmir Valley were forced to migrate. That is Kashmiri Pandits जो थे उन लोगों को उधर से निकाल दिए गए थे, and they had run for life to Delhi, and they got sheltered in Delhi even now. So this is how उन लोगों को उधर से उसके जगह से उन लोगों को भगा गए थे. And Indira Gandhi took up the challenge both from within the party as well as those outside by taking a sharp left turn post in 1967 elections, and she attempted to create a new social base of her own for her party by identifying with the poor and with the downtrodden people. With the poor people and with the downtrodden people, she tried to identify her party with them, because after the death of Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi has come to power, and this move was a double-edged weapon. Okay, दोनों तरफ sharp रहती this move was. So old promises of social and economic development were yet to be fulfilled. वो ही चीज़ नहीं हुआ था, and this was seen to be the major reason for the defeat of Congress party in 1967. Yet, even though it was a defeat, yet the Congress under Indira Gandhi was making new promises. Less than a decade later, the lack of fulfillment of rising mass expectations created frustration and disheartened and culminated with the imposition of emergency by Indira Gandhi in 1977, which we shall see in the future class again. So this is the end of the today's class, children. I hope you have come to know about the Jammu and Kashmir issue. In tomorrow's